Did you know that the modern Olympic tradition began, not in ancient Hellas, but in the small English town of Much Wenlock? Before we start, like and subscribe, we've got a lot more to tell you. Although everyone associates the word Olympics with ancient Greece, the modern idea of the Games from the year 1850 originated in Shropshire, England, in Much Wenlock with competitions organized by Dr. William Penny Brooks, leading physical education for the residents by organizing blind wheelbarrow races, a pig chase, and other folk competitions. This is what inspired Pierre de Coubertin to create the International Olympic Committee in 1894. And the first modern Olympic Games were held in Athens in 1896. And Coubertin's grandfather drew inspiration from the mass of enthusiasm of rural England. Brooks introduced the opening ceremony, the presentation of laurel wreaths, and even the symbolism of the winners, which are still used today. The ideas took shape at a time when ancient Greek traditions seemed long forgotten. The Olympic tricolor symbol is not just a beautiful design, but a symbol of the unity of the world. 5 rings and a white background were chosen by Coubertin in 1913, so that each national flag palette contained at least one color, a symbol of the meeting of all continents in the sports arena of mankind. The youngest champion of the Olympics is an unnamed steer boy of 1991. At the Paris Games, representatives of the Netherlands in men's pairs rowing replaced the adult helmsman with a boy from the crowd whose weight was minimal. After winning, he disappeared and his name is still unknown. He was about 10 years old and may be the youngest Olympic champion. And the youngest official medalist is Greek gymnast Dimitrios Laundras. He was only a 10-year-old gymnast in 1896 when he won bronze, making him the officially recognized youngest Olympic medalist. The Olympics may have been canceled before the official start. The ancient games were held from 776 B.C. until the 4th century A.D., when the Roman Emperor Honorius banned them as a pagan act in the 395th year. After that, the Olympic Games did not exist for nearly 1,500 years until Coubertin revived them in 1896 year. In Paris in 1900, live pigeon shooting. At the Games of 1900th year, for the first and only time in history in the program, included a tournament on shooting live pigeons. About 300 birds were killed. The champion Leon de London from Belgium killed 21. Since then, such competitions have been definitively excluded and replaced by clay target shooting. And artistic competitions, music, painting, and chess among the Olympians. From 1912 to 1948, artists, architects, composers, and writers competed alongside athletes. Artist-athletes participated, winning medals. This stopped because of the difference between professionals and amateurs. Now, the cultural program of the Olympics lives on in other forms. The incredible marathon. The classic distance of 42 kilometers, 195 kilometers, is established at the London Olympics of 1908 year, with the purpose start at Windsor Castle and finish in front of the Royal Box. It was these additional 385 yards that made the marathon officially longer than the former standard. The medals are not pure gold at all. The last official gold medals were made in 1912. After that, the gold medals are silver-plated with a minimum of 6 grams of real gold. Silver ones are pure silver and bronze ones are bronze. Only 5 countries were represented at all the Summer Olympics. These countries were Greece, Great Britain, France, Switzerland, and Australia, and only Greece has participated continuously under its own flag from 1896 until today. Women may have been winners, but not participants. In ancient Greece, women were even forbidden to attend the Games. The first actual female participants did not appear until the 1900th year in Paris in tennis, golf, sailing, croquet, and horse racing. Before that, horse owners could become Stephanitas, but they themselves did not participate in the competition. The owner, not the rider, received the award. The first Olympics with media coverage and an underlying modern image. Paris 1000 Deitisat 24 was a watershed moment. For the first time, there was mass printing, photographs, newsreels, a stadium for 45,000 spectators, an Olympic village, and a 50-meter swimming pool were built. Best-selling stories of inspiration people overcoming the impossible. Police mathematician Karoy Tadash lost his right arm, then switched to left-handed shooters and took gold in London 1948. Dick Williams, a Titanic survivor, wins a gold medal 12 years later at the Tennis Olympics in Paris 1924. Carrie Strug in 1996 fell with an injured leg, but still performed the most difficult vault, ensuring the victory of the U.S. team in the team championship gymnasts. Derek Redmond suffered a thigh muscle injury at the World Championships, but his father ran out onto the track, cheered him on, and helped him run to the finish line, a symbol of athletic dedication. The spirit of the future surfing and breakdancing as Olympic disciplines. In Tokyo in 2020, surfing officially entered the program, and in Paris in 2024, breakdancing in beat battles to DJ music makes its debut. Olympians are dancing like never before, blending tradition and urban culture. The Olympic Games are a symbol of unity and peace, but have also been the scene of ideological, religious, and political clashes more than once. Below, I will discuss how the Christian and Muslim worlds have criticized the Olympics and recall the high-profile scandals related to the banning of countries from participating. Criticism from the Christian world. Christian criticism of the Olympics is not uniform. It ranges from moderate ethical assessment to harsh theological condemnation in individual denominations. Pagan origins. Many traditional Christians point out that the Olympic Games were originally a pagan cult dedicated to Zeus and the other gods of Olympus. In ancient Greece, sacrifices were made at the Olympics and participants performed naked. That's why in the 4th century AD, Emperor Theodosius I, a Christian, banned the Olympics as part of the fight against paganism. There can be nothing holy in that which originates in the service of idols, said the church fathers of the 4th and 5th centuries. The cult of the body and glory. For some Christians, the Olympics are associated with hedonism, the worship of the body and human glory, which contradicts the commandments about humility and seeking heavenly reward rather than earthly reward. He who boasts, boast in the Lord, not in his medal, said one Protestant pastor in the United States, criticizing the cult of sports heroes. Nevertheless, many modern Christians support the Olympics as a means of unity and reconciliation, emphasizing the virtues of discipline, courage, self-denial, and integrity. Criticism of the Olympics from the Muslim world. The Muslim world, as diverse as it is, also has both traditionalist objections and political conflicts to the Olympics. Nudity, dress, and gender norms. For Muslim scholars and jurists, women's performances in sportswear are considered a violation of modesty norms. Fatwas of some Islamic theologians in the past explicitly prohibited women from participating in the Olympics, considering it vulgarization and degrading. However, since the 2000s, there has been a wave of Islamic feminism in Muslim countries where women have begun to participate in the hijab, and some countries are officially sending women's teams. Example: Saudi Arabia only allowed women on the Olympic team for the first time in 2012, under pressure from the IOC. High-profile political and religious scandals, country bans. Germany 1936th year and Nazi propaganda. The Berlin Olympics became a showcase for Hitler's propaganda. Many countries discussed boycotting, but eventually came. Nevertheless, Jewish and Black athletes performed and disproved the Nazi theory of racial superiority, becoming symbols of the triumph of the spirit. Israel and boycotts of Muslim countries. Since the 1970s, many Islamic countries have boycotted Olympics where Israel participated. Relations were particularly strained after the terrorist attack in Munich in 1972, when the Palestinian group Black September captured and killed 11 Israeli athletes. Since then, the topic of Israel's security and a possible boycott has remained a hot topic. Africa and the boycott of 1976. 28 African countries boycotted the Montreal Olympics because of the participation of New Zealand, whose rugby team continued to collaborate with the apartheid regime of South Africa. This was a protest against racial discrimination. USSR and USA Cold War. 1988, the USA and 65 countries boycotted the Moscow Games after the USSR invaded Afghanistan. In 1984, in response, the USSR and the Socialist camp boycotted the Los Angeles Games. The Olympics became an arena not of sport, but of geopolitics. Russia's ban in 2018, 2021, and 2024 years. Because of the doping scandal and allegations of doping sample manipulation, the IOC banned Russia from competing under the flag. Russian athletes competed under the neutral status of ROC or without anthem and flag at all. The Olympics, for all its beauty, is controversial in religious and political circles because it brings together too many cultures, beliefs, and systems. Yet, through conflict and compromise, it remains a symbol of humanity's quest for peace, justice, and excellence. Christian and Muslim critics raise questions of morality, modesty, idolatry, and the proper balance between the corporeal and the spiritual. But in these same worlds, there have always been heroes, reconcilers, and those who show that it is possible to remain true to one's faith and still be part of the larger human dialogue. Did you watch the Olympics as a child, and how do you think it has changed today, and is it worth your attention? Do you watch it today? Write in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe not to miss new videos. Thank you for your attention. See you next time when we will again look behind the scenes of the Olympics to find out what else is hidden behind the banners and standards of sports history.